Hello, everybody. I want to start out with saying thank you, everybody, for being here and supporting us. This prize is extremely important because it shows how my father's work and the effort have not been forgotten. I can't understand why he would be locked up for something he didn't do wrong. My father is a really smart guy who worked hard for our future and for everyone's future. He only did what was right and should not be in prison. Everybody has the right to say what they want. Everybody has the right to a freedom of speech. This freedom is extremely important for society because without it, we only follow one opinion. The last time I saw my father was 2 years ago. I visited him in jail. The first time my brother and I waited a full day, and in the end, we left without seeing him because he did not want us to see him with handcuffs. But the next time we came, we finally got to see him without handcuffs. Hugging my father for the first time in 4 years was an incredible feeling. I felt joy and sadness all at the same time. But mostly, I felt lucky. Lucky to have such an amazing father and lucky to be able to see him again. We sat with him for about an hour, but it felt like 10 minutes. I never wanted it to end. He was smiling the whole time and listening carefully to all our stories. He advised us to concentrate and do well at school. If you fail, I fail, he told me. That's why I'm trying my best in my college to have a better future and to make my father proud. But my goal is not only to be successful, but to help others in need, just like what my father is doing. Before he was locked up, my father would let me skip school and told me to come with him to his trial. To be honest, I don't remember much about it. But the thing that I can't forget is how confident and positive he always was. He took the trial like it was nothing. I want to send a message to my father. Dear Father, I know that you can hear me now. Keep going and doing what you think is right. No one should tell you what to do or what to say. You have the right to express your opinion, and no one can take that right from you. And everyone around the world who is hearing me now, I ask you to stand by my father, to keep his story and his belief alive. If all of us come together and listen to each other, we can create changes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the Livelihood Award. Thank you very much for everyone here for supporting the human rights and for support the great values. And congratulations for all the winners. On the 9th of March 2013, 63-year-old Abdullah al-Hamid was sentenced to 11 years in prison by the Specialized Criminal Court, a court set up specifically to try terrorism cases. Yet Abdullah al-Hamid was on trial for being a human rights defender, a crime that would not strike terror into anyone but those who want to rule without ever being held to account. But Abdullah is not just a human rights defender. He's an inspiration, and to me, he's an admired and a friend. Throughout his long, presented and perseverable fight for justice, despite repression, threats, and harassment from the Saudi authorities, his inspiration to human rights defenders in the country, but perhaps more importantly, he is also an inspiration to many other Saudi who are eager for Saudi Arabia, where their rights and dignity are respected. In 1992, Abdullah helped to found a human rights organization. Because of that, he was fired from his job as a university professor and was sent to jail. He would later be imprisoned again and again for his activities in defending human rights. First in 1993, then in 1994, and in 1995, and later in 2004, and in 2006, and in 2008. The year after his release in 2009, Abdullah al-Hamid was the co-founder, along with Mohammad al-Qahtani and 9 other activists, to the Saudi Civil and Political Rights Association, acknowledged by the acronym HASM in Arabic and ACBRA in English. Mohammad al-Qahtani was also later tried before the Specialized Criminal Court. Among several other things, Mohammad was charged with presenting false information about Saudi Arabia to United Nations Human Rights Mechanism, because the Saudi authorities want only one narrative to reach the world, and that narrative is their own. The authorities also accused Mohammed, without any sense of irony, of calling Saudi Arabia a police of state. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Through their organization, the Saudi Civil and Political Rights Association, Mohammed and Abdullah al-Hamid emphasized the need both to address specific cases of human rights abuse and violations, and to tackle the institutional and structural problems that allow such violations to happen. They were always trying to educate the general public, and they led by personal example, in the example that I myself try to follow. When the authority put them on trial, Abdullah and Mohammed took care to make it clear for everyone that it was the authorities who should have to answer for their crimes and abuses, not human rights defenders for drawing attention to those crimes. In the fight, Mohammed and Abdullah were not alone. Waleed Abu al-Khair, another dear friend of mine, fearlessly fought alongside them. In 2008, Waleed organized a hunger strike in solidarity with the jailed activist. The following year, he founded an organization called Monitor of Human Rights in Saudi Arabia. Waleed soon became one of the Saudi Arabia's most vocal human rights activists, both inside the country and regionally. Waleed inspired me with his energy and unwavering commitment. It was because of that steadfast commitment that he became the first human rights defender to be tried under the Saudi Arabia's new anti-terror law in 2014. He was charged with harming the reputation of the kingdom because he highlighted the violation of the authorities. He was charged with irritating public opinion against the country's public order, a public order built to repression and subjugations. But Waleed, Mohammed, and Abdullah, along with many other peaceful activists who are now behind bars, like Aziz al-Yusuf, Lujain al-Hidlul, Amal al-Harbi, Abdulaziz al-Shubeli, Mohammed al-Bjadi, and more, were not simply agitating against public order. People already know that things were bad. What those activists had showed them was that things could be different. And that's exactly what the authorities feared most. Those activists gave people hope. In celebrating these three men today, we highlight their long and ongoing fight for the society where all its members are respected, their dignity and rights protected, and their differences and diversities celebrated rather than suppressed. And celebrating them, we renew our commitment to fight for their release and the release of the peaceful activists and prisoners of conscience inside Saudi Arabia, regionally, and across the world. Thank you very much.